they don't like huge guys, in my opinion. Well, this is from when I moved from the UK. Might be slightly different depending.
Dude, I used to literally have to like play background music on purpose because I would breathe so hard from being way too bulked up when I was like 250 plus. Like that's the kind of, that's more you don't think of. You have to be on like fucking Carterine to like make it through a session without sounding like a fucking wheezing buffalo who's about to pass out. That kind of shit. What's up guys, Derek, moreplates.com. Today we're going to be reacting to Owen Harrison, why I lost all my gains, in all caps. So if you don't know who Owen is, he has a twin brother. I think his name is Lewis, and he was, I think he's like an OG fitness influencer. He's like, you know, when I think back to, I don't know, when I was like first looking at this kind of stuff and even getting into like watching YouTube videos, shortly after Ziz, to be honest, it was like Jeff Side, like these guys and like guys in this era, you know, like the Sergis, the I don't know, like the Tavi Castros and all those dudes. And so he's like an OG influencer, and it looks like he's lost about 10 to 15 pounds of lean mass here. Maybe that's a bit much. Maybe, I don't know, like 10 pounds of lean mass. And you know, I think we can kind of speculate what probably happened, but it will be interesting to see, you know, is he going to pull a Connor Murphy and be like, oh yeah, you know, I'm just bulking, so it looks like I've lost a bunch of muscle, but I'm just less lean. And then you get lean and you're just like, you know what? I'm a fucking spiritual, I'm a god now, so I don't even have to answer your fucking questions about when I was a fake natty. So anyways, let's see what this guy says, and if he has a better answer than somebody like Connor.
So a lot of people keep telling me in my DM that Owen, you've lost size. Yes, I know.
You bunch of fuckers.
Dude, it's it's funny how like people don't, I don't know if they really think you don't know what is going on. Like if you're cutting or bulking or you're just like, you know, taking a break or whatever, people will be the first to remind you that you don't look as good as you once did. And it's like, some of them genuinely seem concerned. Some of them are just trying to shit on you, but some will be like, yo, like what happened, bro? It's like, dude, fuck off, you know?
Bro,
Natural start, yeah?
you look small.
I am. I've lost size. That's what this video's about. MP, you know. Before we go anywhere, MP outfit. So I always do a small short, medium top, and I am 5'9", 5'10". And I was trying to say my weight then, and I have no idea how much I weigh. I'm around 177 pounds, maybe less now, I think. I would say, which is, if you're in England, I think it's around about, is it 12 stone?
See, it's interesting is most fitness influencers, guys who are obsessed with their physiques or guys who, you know, do this for a living especially, they keep a very close eye on their weight. They would not have to think about that question. Like even me, my goal is not to do anything really bodybuilding related, to be honest, but I still weigh myself every fucking day and I know exactly what I weigh all the time.
12 stone, it's not too heavy. But I look heavier. I'll suck. Okay guys, today's video, I'm going to talk about, I've been asked a lot of questions about this online, so I just thought I would address it, which is why I've lost size compared to the size I was, say, pre-lockdown last year. So we will talk about this later, because firstly, we're going to go to the gym, and I'm going to show you my style of training right now, which is completely different to the style of training
I guess I'm gonna fast forward a bit here.
when I was really heavy into physique and bodybuilding training. So yeah, what we'll do is go to the gym first, and I'll give you a little insight into pull up, we'll do you again. Round one. Another 4 to go. So I'm training like this a lot more. Like I said, this is all you do in the Marine Corps. There's a lot of body weight exercises. I'm on really low calorie right now. Fasting, and then I must be 2,000 calories or something.
Man, this place that he's at is making me want to go on vacation. Fuck.
I think. I've been having too many cheat meals. Baking time. I'm gonna stop ordering for baking time.
This entire fucking house is like made out of bamboo.
I'm feeling 30 years old. Since I've changed my training, the DOMs have been unbelievable. So I said before, guys, that I would touch on like why I lost size and touch base on that. The main thing I wanted to touch on was, so before pre-lockdown I was big. I think I was around about 13. If you're from England, you know 13 stone. I think that's around 83 kilos. And then lockdown hit in Spain, and Spain was a bad lockdown. I literally didn't train for 3 months, which you're probably thinking, former Marine, fitness model, why was he not doing home workouts? And I don't have the answer to that. I think I'd lost all motivation. I think a lot of people did as well.
Yeah, you know, I know a lot of guys who are like die-hard bodybuilding, you know, it's their entire life, and then they start to get, you know, more into the entrepreneurship side of stuff, more into business-minded activities, and they get down to like, even me, I'm not at the point where I'm not working out, but I'm at the point where I'm trying to get away with as little as physically possible every week in order to allocate more of my mental energy, because I do get drained when I do, you know, heavy-duty, high-volume workouts, you know, multiple times a week. Training heavy, you know, going as hard as you can, it does drain your mental state and your concentration in a entrepreneurship aspect. And I know some people have like gotten to the point where they do like literally nothing, who used to be all about the gym. So, you know, it's not super uncommon actually, like everyone's, you know, interests diverge as they get older. So that's just kind of how it works, you know, some people, everyone's interests do not stay the same for, you know, decades on end.
So during the lockdown, I lost a lot of muscle. And I came out of lockdown looking like this. And I think for a number of people, I think it was...
It's like for him, that's, you know, like bad. That would be like a goal physique for like 99% of dudes. Like that's still an elite physique.
Tough. A lot of people lost motivation during the lockdown. Home workouts are not the same as gym workouts. I think we can all agree on that. So I lost all motivation, lost a lot of size, and I didn't do anything. No exercise or anything. My diet was all over the place. I was eating what I want, when I wanted, and it was a bad time. So fast forward to post-lockdown, which was, I think, what month did we come out of lockdown, Mark? June?
Yeah, May, June.
May, June. But even then, we were on time limits where we could only go out for 2 to 3 hours at night. That's when I started running a lot, and cardio came into play because the gyms weren't open. And I actually didn't spend lockdown in the centre of Barcelona. I spent it in close to Valencia. And you know, my lockdown wasn't in a bad place, guys. I was in a nice villa and I had a pool, but still, I just lost all motivation. Really needed a gym. You know, I felt like I needed a gym, even though home workout could have been sufficient enough. But again, it's not the same. So post lockdown, started doing a lot more cardio, and I dramatically lost a lot of muscle. Wasn't as lean, muscle mass decreased a lot. I found myself a lot more mobile, a lot more agile. My pull-up strength was back, my chin-up strength was back, and I just felt way better, a lot better. That's kind of the whole reason of me not wanting to go big again, is I can sprint now, I can run a lot better. Movement, agility is way better than it was. Also from a personal point of view, I'm going to bring my personal life into it. I feel like it's a lot better for the women as well. Girls don't like huge guys.
See, interesting, before we touch on like the female, you know, side of things, even when I was a lifeguard and I was teaching swimming lessons, when I was like 250 or something, and it was severely inhibiting to the point that I would be going to teach one of the strokes to the, to my classes. I'd have, you know, kids from age, I don't know, like 6 up until like I don't even remember, to be honest, like very young children up until like preteen. And I would be teaching them, you know, different, you know, types of strokes in the, you know, the deep end, the shallow end, whatever the level was that justified it. But some like the basic stuff I couldn't even do because my shoulders would get in my way. Like it was inhibiting to the point that I couldn't even do it. And you're so muscle bound, so you can't float that easily. You just sink. So when you're trying to stay in one spot to like demonstrate a movement, without actually physically like moving through the water. You're just trying to stay in one spot right in front of the kids and like show them some, you know, fucking movement. I couldn't even do it because I just sink to the bottom. So like there's a lot of stuff that people don't think of that gets problematic when you are like way too into bodybuilding. Like for me, that actually made it way harder for me to do my job, to the point that I was like, can I even do this shit? For some of the swims, dude, some of the whatever you call it, the movements or whatever, I'd be like, I perform this worse looking than like, you know, one of my top students, because it would be, I couldn't even, the flexibility to like get my shoulder to do a proper I don't even remember what it's called, but some of the stuff, it was just like really inhibiting from lack of flexibility, being way too muscle bound, not being able to even like float correctly unless you're like, you know, treading water simultaneously. You don't just like float like a normal person, you sink like a fucking rock. There's a lot of random stuff you wouldn't think of that it gets in the way of. And then obviously, I was gonna say, even before he said this, a lot of people wanna know, like, what is the ideal physique for women? Like, what is too much? When are you like pushing the envelope to a point that you're just getting more male attention than female attention? And at the end of the day, by the way, you know, more plays, more dates. It's obviously, anyone who's intelligent knows that that is not true. It's just a play on words that is like funny and memorable and easy to, you know, it's easy to remember, and it like rings in your head a bit. So once you get to a certain point of muscularity or like plates, anything above and beyond that, you're using like a certain amount of stuff to achieve that, you know, next plate or that extra, you know, 5-10 pounds of muscle or whatever. And as severely diminishing returns, dude, to the point where it's just dudes who are impressed by you at that point, and females don't give a shit, and you start to actually look worse. You start to do things like worsen your facial aesthetics. You start to lose hair because you're using too much anabolic. You start to, you know, whatever. And it just looks overwhelming and too much in many cases. Like right now, I would say his physique now is probably, like he's about to elaborate on it, but I would say just, you know, objectively, this looks like the ideal, like athletic, lean, appealing physique to the broad spectrum majority of women. Not, you know, fitness niche, like industry chicks who are all like on fucking Anavar and like cranked and shit. Like normal women who are attractive. This is like an ideal athletic look.
They like you lean, agile.
I do.
Very agile.
AKA you don't get gassed out in fucking 30 seconds in the bedroom.
They don't like huge guys, in my opinion. Well, this is from when I moved from, the UK might be slightly different, depending.
Dude, I used to literally have to like play background music on purpose because I would breathe so fucking hard from being way too bulked up when I was like 250 plus. Like that's the kind of, that's more shit you don't think of. You have to be on like fucking Carterine to like make it through a session without sounding like a fucking wheezing buffalo who's about to pass out. That kind of shit.
What you taste as women, girls, I don't know. But when I moved to Spain, I feel like the women prefer you slimmer and a leaner build. And that was big. From my experience. So yeah. But that's the main reason, that's not the main reason why I lost size. I found that as a benefit. That's an add-on. But the main reason was I'd lost all the size through the lockdown, through not training, through poor diet, and I just wasn't myself anyway. But being back to where I was in the Marine Corps, but slightly stiffer, I'd say, with my age, and just all around better shape. So I just didn't want to jeopardize that to be going back bigger again. And I found like I'm looking back on my pictures on Instagram and I'm like, wow, what was I doing? What was I thinking? Because like now my face is a lot better, everything. So I would never now go back to that kind of routine. I'm happy at this size. So a lot of people keep telling me in my DM that Owen, you've lost size. Yes, I know.
You bunch of fuckers.
I know. Smile.
You can almost guarantee it's all dudes who are saying that though.
So yeah, that's how I've gone from being that size to where I am now, and now I feel a hell of a lot better. The benefits of being leaner, slimmer, more agile totally outweigh from my previous physique. So yeah, I won't be going back to being absolutely massive. I'm happy at this size, so there's no need to direct message me anymore telling me I've lost size.
You bunch of fuckers, despite the provocation.
I do know. But yeah, I just thought I'd explain that because I get a lot of questions about this. Because there's a lot of videos on YouTube where me and Lewis are obviously very good guys, and I've lost it all through the lockdown. So yeah, I want to touch base on that, guys, and I hope you enjoy it. This is my kind of style of training now and my routine, and I'm enjoying it a lot more. Not saying that I'm not doing exercises that I was doing before. I'm still doing weight training, just not to the extent as I was doing it pre-lockdown. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one.
Thought he was going to say something about anabolics, because in the comment section I gave it a little peek before. Top comment: he is off the roids and focused on being a better human, the honest / humble twin. Never denies being on gear and is working hard doing his own business. Just wondered what is not humble / honest about him. So I didn't hear him say anything about gear in this entire thing. I really like watching his videos and he seems like a good guy, but I think he should just be honest and say I'm off cycle. He said he was on gear in a different vid. Obviously he was on gear, but he still looks good natural. He has lied and claimed natty. Lewis has openly admitted using steroids. I think the same is true for most YouTube bodybuilders. They can't really come clean because it could result in them losing their lucrative sponsorship deals. For example, can you see a Gymshark athlete talking openly about what gear they're on and keeping their contract? I think a lot of people overplay this at this point, even though I guess there are certain companies that definitely do that, but it's like, well, I guess maybe I'm biased because my company, I literally give 0 fucks and I talk about everything. So, okay, like, is this the result of him coming off gear and he's just like making an excuse? You know, oh, it's, you know, the not training the same. It's the not, you know, trying to maintain it. It's the, you know, lack of adherence and whatnot. I think you'd be surprised like how much not being on your diet and training, even on the same gear, will impact your physique. I often talk about how you need to be dialed in both of those things if you want to get the most out of what you're using. And if you don't dial those things in, you will get piss poor or nothing results at all. Like if you saw the video I did recently, the video on the guy who used 500 mgs a test, but had no diet or lifting experience, and the before and afters, you can see for yourself, the guy gained like nothing and then lost it all because he just was not following a good plan. Doesn't matter that he was on half a gram of shit, which you would normally explode on if you had everything dialed in, you know, and you had half decent genetics. And yet he gained, the net result was like nothing. He went back to exactly where he was as a natural, like within short order. So can you lose the size he did on like TRT doses? Yeah, you can. Like, I think it's realistic that he's probably still chilling on TRT to maintain the physique he has, to be honest. Like, he is still fucking jacked, has crazy traps, crazy chest, crazy arms, crazy abs, but he's just way more dialed in, streamlined, athletic looking, looks like a yoked model at this point rather than like a Sergi Constance fitness model or something. So like, this is a better look for, you know, women obviously, but I speculate he's still on TRT. You know, I doubt he came off. If he did, I think he would have melted to a lot lesser of a physique than he has now if he was off for like the last year. I'm pretty sure you would have saw more of a regression. This, I think, the fact that he's maintained the body composition, the leanness, and still has a decent amount of his size, despite like barely doing anything by the sounds of it, and changing his training to be like body weight stuff, you know, eating whatever the fuck, being very, very lax and like not giving a shit at all. Obviously great genetics, but in addition to that, a little bit of Sazul, you know, a little bit of TRT in my opinion. Like, I'm sure he is still on his like same baseline of TRT, and this is the result of not adhering to a bodybuilder style diet and training regimen anymore, and probably not pushing super physiological doses. Like, I don't know how often he like blasted, but I'm sure now at this point he can literally just maintain this with barely anything. So he's probably just chilling on TRT and just like doing what he wants and is enjoying the more streamlined look. But I can almost guarantee he didn't come off clean and clean out all year to sustain this. Like, for me, this is probably still, you know, enhanced, but more like, you know, physiologically replacing what you would, you know, naturally produce, but on the high end. And obviously at that point, you can claim it's super physiological because you would not otherwise maintain that level chronically throughout the day. And it allows you to maintain a physique more like this rather than what he probably would look like if he was totally natural, in my opinion. So for me, this is, the stuff he said, I bet is actually pretty accurate. And I doubt he, you know, like cycled off. I bet he's just on TRT still, and then all his training and shit just went out the window, and then he lost a bunch of size. Like, that is what is going to happen. And maybe, you know, in the past he was probably blasting here and there throughout the year, and you know, that would contribute a lot to your lack of the maintenance of your size as well. You know, if you're just on TRT, you're not going to maintain the full-blown look that you had, you know, 2 or 3 years prior, but you can easily maintain this on just TRT, in my opinion. So that is my stance. You know, I'm surprised he didn't just like touch on the anabolic shit if his brother already talks about it. it's not you know, like your comment section is going to have these top comments. So like, why not just like fucking address it? It takes like 2 seconds to address it. And you know that everyone is going to respect you way more to bring it up and just like not give you shit in the comment section. Like literally the top 4 comments with the most likes. He's off roids. Is he off cycle? Just say you're off cycle. Blah, 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 blah. You know, be more transparent about PDs. Brother, it's pretty obvious you're just off cycle, you know? Oh shit, more place order dates and Greg like this. Can't wait. Laughing face. Yeah, so like, and then people are going to send it to us and we're going to dissect the fucking shit out of it, obviously. So let's see, what do you say here? Just laughing. Yeah, so basically he's off juice and he's still a bad dude. He's probably still on TRT, but dropped the rest. Yup, that's what I think. Yeah, man, so like he's like ignoring all the top comments and he's just like laughing and shit. Like, come on, dude, just talk about it, you know? It's not that hard to fucking just say a little thing here. So anyways, that's it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I think he's still on TRT. Probably not blasting anymore, has no need to, and is enjoying the athletic look. And frankly, it looks better, so I think he should maintain what he's doing too. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, check out my blog, moreplates1dates.com. Follow me on Instagram, @moreplates_more_dates. Facebook, Snapchat, BitChute, Twitter, TikTok, Apple Podcasts. If you want to support the channel, you can check out anything I'm associated with in the video description below. My TRT clinic, it's all telemedicine from the comfort of your own home, Gorilla Mind. Nootropic formulas, Gorilla Mode, pre-workout formulas, design myself from scratch, and anything else I'm associated with, it's all in the video description below. Thank you guys for watching. Talk to you soon.